we definitely address the Tobago population and Trinidad and Tobago, what's happening with the upcoming carnival event as for the perspective of the business and the hotel sector, so that all San John will be appraised of what's happening. So let me introduce my lovely panel. On my far left, we have Mr. Gray, Brendan Gray, head of our tourism committee. All right? And coming on my right, we have Mr. Lord from the Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association. And then we have Demi Cookshan, my vice chair of the Tobago division of the hotel, of the chamber and the chamber, the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce. And it's a pleasure to have the media here and all those who are watching and viewing us live on television. With no further ado, I want to just hand it over to Mr. Gray, Brendan Gray, to give us a little insight on what's happening in his vibrant sector, because it's Tobago Carnival and it's been really excited going forward. So, Mr. Gray, please come.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, morning to...
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and welcome, Mr. Lord, the President of the Tobago Hotel Association, and Mr. Cruikshank, our Vice Chair. Brendan Gray, I'm the Chairman of the Tourism Committee of the Tobago Chamber of Commerce here. Well, let me say that I am very pleased at the growth of the Carnival event from its inception 2 years ago. This is our third incarnation, and I think the whole of Tobago is involved in this whole growth process. I want to congratulate the persons who have implemented it. I could remember the first year that it was implemented. All the persons who commented on it negatively and positively. Now I think we are in the growth process. I want to particularly speak to what has really developed out of the carnival. It has brought a new kind of creative personalities out of this industry. So a lot of Tobagonians are now business people, has seen business growth out of what is called the Tobago Carnival. You have the Calypsonians. We just saw last night the soca artists, and we saw the kind of songs and the kind of presentations out of it. I understand, and further we look at what is happening in the schools. Even the schools are benefiting now. We have the young people. We have another creative, continuous creative environment coming out of the young people. So we have a future in this creative industry. We have studios. I see studios have been developed out of this situation. So my concern is how the Carnival has created a new development of the people of Tobago and the residents here. What I would want to add, though, is how would we now expand? What about the next 5 years? The personalities, are they considering what the next 5 years will be? What changes need to occur to this whole experience so that we not get stuck in the oneness and continuous environment of only what we see now? We must grow. How can we build out the place down at EBD, EMBD, what do you call that, Cove? What can we do with Cove to bring this thing into a new growth? What can happen down there? How can we build a conference center with outdoor facilities so that we could have our fetes, big fetes in that environment rather than around Scarborough and around looking for some place to do. So we need to plan and strategize as to how to grow this industry that we have, because we can be the greatest little island on the planet once we think through all of this. And what does Caribbean Airlines has to play in this whole situation? We need to also plan that process in terms of Caribbean Airlines, because there are lots of persons in in the diaspora who I have been speaking with who would like to come for the carnival or for any of our festivals. But the challenges they have is they cannot book directly from where they are to Tobago because the Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago link seems to be non-existent on the international scene. So I'm asking that we also consider those events. Thank you for the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Gray, for that insight on tourism and the excitement last night. I know was the pavement line and Crown Point was transformed into a whole hub. I remember in Guyana, they used to call it a street site. I mean, there's this entire street was blocked off. It was so much excitement down in Crown Point, coming out from Market Square to Crown Point. It was really, really good. And I know tonight, coming up with the Army Fete at Roxborough, I passed there this morning. I was up there at around 7 a.m. this morning, and I see the excitement growing for Roxborough. The villagers are all excited. The vendors, the business folks, I spoke to a couple business folks there. They were all excited with what's happening tonight in Roxborough. So, guys, come on. All those who haven't made your booking as yet, see if you could get across the island. I don't know. It might be a little difficult. The fast ferry is still available, and there are a couple of seats available. So let's get across. Bring your family, friends. Let's have a great Tobago Carnival. Now, I'll just hand you over to the Hotel and Tourism Association. They want to share some excitement with some of their hotels and villas. It's a real magic happening in that industry. So I hand you over to Mr. Lord, who will give us some excitement of what's happening at all the properties, both small, medium, and large.
Good morning, everyone. Alpha Lord, the president of the Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association, and I'm really proud to be here this morning. When I look back on the start of the carnival 3 years ago, if we just think back, the first year it was pretty much rained out. Second year we saw the event start to blossom a little bit, and we're here now. And from a hotel perspective, we've seen the growth over time. This year, most of the hotels, small, medium, large, and the villa sector, I think are reporting figures in the vicinity of 75% and higher, which is a significant improvement on the last 2 years. We still face some challenges. Up to this morning, I had phone calls from persons who want to come. I spoke with a band leader this morning. He have persons now calling him. They want to come because they're seeing the hype. They're seeing the thing that they didn't see necessarily in the last 2 years that says the event is on. They're feeling the energy. But the getting to and from has always been a challenge. I think so. Whilst I'm here to sing the praises of the event as it has grown, I think we still need to look at the structural links that would allow hotels to see their capacity from in September. They must be able to look and say, all right, this is what I'm going to look like, not fill at the last minute and then have to react to it because Cal added flights at the last minute and persons were able to get on, or the ferry listing got upgraded to add 2 more sailings in the week or 2 before. The truth is, I know the air and sea bridge carriers want to ensure the viability. They don't want to just put on 5 sailings or 5 extra flights from 2 months earlier and then it doesn't get taken up. But I think if the necessary advertising and support go hand in hand, it will get taken up easily. It's just a relationship that I think we need to continue fostering. I'm pleased with the Division of Tourism and the Festivals Commission in terms of their marketing approach this year, albeit I think it started a little later than I would have liked, but at least they have done what is necessary to create the buzz, and that buzz has translated into demand. So I think next year I'm looking to see even bigger things coming out of them. By and large, all our ancillary partners this morning, persons calling me, hey, you know where I can get a car rental? I said, well, check so. No, boy, this person sold out, that person sold out already. So it means that the trickle-down effect that we want out of a successful tourist product is actually taking place. It's not just the hotels, right? It's everything that's connected to the process is seeing some benefit. So I'm really grateful for that this morning, and I'm looking forward to 2025 and the planning to start very early.
Thank you, Mr. Lord, for that insight on what's happening in the hotel and tourism sector. I can tell you this morning on the highway coming up, we saw that buzz with all that branding of the Tobago Carnival from Crom Point all the way to Scarborough. Is an interesting branding. And so the buzz is there. We know the connectivity now, as Mr. Lord indicated, is the challenge now, getting folks across to the island. So we ask Caribbean Airlines, you're listening to us. You're seeing us here live. We're talking straight from Scarborough. We need the extra flights. No two ways about it. You got to get the extra flights across. There are lots of people who want to come across, and you need to get those extra flights in. Publish it. Let's get them. We don't want after the event we having unsold tickets or unsold seats. We don't want that report. We want fill. So get the flights out. Let the folks know that the flights is available so we could take full advantage of those flights coming across to the island. The bus is there. The hotels is filled. And there are room for more, so we want to get the connectivity. And I will hand you over to our head of our inter-island transport and the airlift, Mr. Demis John. He will give you an insight on some of the exciting things. The Port Authority, noting that Carl cannot give us the energy that we want. The Port Authority came out in full to give us that energy. And I just want to say thanks to the Port Authority up front. And Mr. Cookshank will give us some insights on what's happening, the excitement of the Port Authority. And we call on Carl, come on, do like the Port Authority. Give us the excitement across in Tobago.
Oh, they are doing it. Everybody else, I probably have to put on my glasses for this.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks to the media for coming out this morning to our press conference. For all the viewers and listeners on media and social media, you know, Tobago is a place to be. One, I want to say, looking at the statistics coming out from today, because between yesterday and today, we've been pulling all the statistics in terms of who is doing good, who needs a little boosting. So we had a number of other associations sending in their stats as to what is happening, where they are at right now. I spoke with the Bread and Breakfast chair, Kay Chutman. She indicated that they are approximately 95% full in terms of the guest houses and the small properties. There's 1 and 2 room there, but they basically at 95% occupancy for this week, going into next week. We spoke with the car rental people. They again, most of the car rentals are sold out. Some car rental operators indicated that they are trying to get some additional cars come up from Trinidad to augment their fleet. So we're trying to help them to put them on the cargo star between today and tomorrow to get some additional vehicles on the island. We looked at what the Port Authority has done. The Port Authority, I must say kudos to them. We've been working closely for the last 3 weeks. I've been back and forth in Port of Spain talking with the Port Authority management, the chairman, Mr. Alexander. They really and truly have come up to scratch in terms of what they are doing on the sea bridge. If you look at, there's a press release today. We were trying our best to get the TNT Spirit up and running. The works is not completed, so we could not have had the TNT Spirit to join the fleet of vessels that is working. But if you look at what is happening, we have a serious turnover in terms of the numbers of people coming. One of between the APT James and the Bucko Reef, the numbers is around 800 passengers. The Galleon Passage is about 400 passengers. So the Galleon Passage is going to run every single day. The Galleon Passage the intention with the Galleon Passage is to leave after the fast ferries leave in Port of Spain. So anybody who is left back in Port of Spain, the Galleon Passage will take them up. So we saw yesterday and coming in last night, you had the Carbo Star, you had the Bucko Reef, you had the APT James, you had Galleon Passage, all traveled yesterday, and I can tell you the numbers looking very, very good for Tobago. right? So we did not get the spirit, but no love lost. We will get the spirit probably next month when all the repairs is completed. But again, I must commend Mr. Lyle Alexander and his team at the port. They've been doing an excellent job. So my message to everybody in Trinidad and Tobago who wants to get to Tobago, I think the port is your first option. You should head to the port because Carl is reporting 100% in terms of bookings for the flights that they have. And I also spoke to the officials at Carl this morning, and they gave us some stats. Caribbean Airlines did not leave back anybody yesterday. Everybody was brought up to Tobago. Standbys and confirmed passengers came up yesterday. The intention is to do the same today. This morning they had 6 flights. This afternoon you have about 12 flights. You have flights at 3 o'clock, 4:40, 5:10. So we'll be looking at that between an hour, every half an hour, you will have flights coming in to Tobago today. So you have a lot of flights going to be coming to the island today. So the call to Caribbean Airlines, they are actually listening to the chamber, listening to the hotel association, listening to the private sector. They actually is stepping up their game. The 423 coming out of JFK is totally full, and all those passengers will offload in Tobago, 160 passengers. They are all destined for Tobago. That arrives in Tobago at 12:25 p.m. this afternoon, right? So those flights are actually doing well for the Carnival season. We have a number of events, as people could imagine. I looked at the schedule for Saturday. Saturday alone has about 15 fetes in Tobago. And then you have Sunday, and you have after the last lap and after thing. So what this means for the business community. For a number of years, we've been asking for more business activity on the island. We are seeing it coming out of the Carnival. We are seeing it going down into Christmas, and I hope the projection continues in the right direction because, yes, we have our bankers to pay that we haven't been able to pay for a long time. So we are pleading to the visitors. And we are also throwing out a plea to the Caribbean airline pilots. I know you all have your industrial issues, but I am begging you from a Tobago point of view, don't put those industrial actions into place this weekend. Tobago needs a flight. We have not had business like this for a number of years. We need to get the business and the island moving again, coming out from the reports from Blue Food into the Carnival and the bookings going into Christmas. We are seeing number of bookings taking place. So just another plea from the Tobago division to the pilots, please. I know you have your industrial issues with Cal, but put them on the back burner this weekend and make sure that the flights come. They come in from the schedule we have. It's like every half an hour. Let the flights come, please, without any interruption, so we can have a bumper Christmas. We also Carnival. We're also urging people, to the vendors and merchants, please talk to your bankers today and try to get the wireless machines. So we're encouraging people to use links, pay by links, and don't have this large amount of cash on them. So that is one plea we're trying to get the merchants to make sure, and all the people under the tents, all the people by the roadside, if you can go to your bankers and get the wireless machines. All commercial banks on the island offer them. So go to your bank and see if we can get a wireless machine today. So we encourage our visitors and our revelers that is coming in for the Carnival to use more links, credit card, than cash, because we don't want a situation where it rears its ugly head where crime is concerned. Right? I know the chair would have touched on crime, and from the indication that we had from both the TTPS, the Defense Force, they are comfortable in terms of the numbers on the island. If you saw on the port last night, there was a whole massive contingent came in last night of TTPS officers from Trinidad. We welcome them to Tobago, and we want the revelers and the and the patrons to have a crime-free, and we are boasting that we want to have a crime-free 2024 Tobago Carnival. All right? We also touched base with, yesterday I had a conversation with the head of WASA in Tobago. He indicated that all is on go for water distribution throughout the island. And he also has water trucks on standby just in case anything happens to any one of the plants. So they are on full high alert where water distribution is concerning. I also spoke with the head of the TV in Tobago, and he indicated that all his crews, they did whatever maintenance to all their plants, so we should not have an interruption with electricity on the island. They anticipated the numbers. They anticipated the amount of air conditions that will be online for the carnival, and they would have put things in place. So both TANTEC, WASA, the TTPS, the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, everybody is on high alert, including TIMA, our own TIMA. Mr. Stewart, the chair, will talk about TIMA's operation. Everybody is on high alert for this carnival, and I can only say, coming out of this carnival, we want to have more business and we can plan for 2025 carnival season. And as the president of the Hotel Association indicated, as soon as this carnival finished this weekend, we are calling on the Secretary for Tourism, to call a meeting, a post-mortem meeting with all the stakeholders. And this meeting is not to vent your problems and things, for us to plan the way forward. And we can probably invite Caribbean Airlines, we can invite the Port Authority to come to that meeting, and let us all plan 2025 Carnival so it can be the success that we want now. And I am hoping that the date for the 2025 Carnival could be published by this weekend. It is out, right? So the 3 years. So at least the visitors who is coming in could know the date for 2025, and I commend them if they did that already. So again, we look forward to a really bumper 2024 Carnival. I know well, I'm a pan person, so you will see me on the street. I beg the media, please don't tape me, because I'll be in all my pan thing and I will be jumping with my pan side, right? So, and I will be enjoying the pan, right? So again, I hope that we have a very good 2024 Carnival in Tobago, and especially the Marshall Montano Fete that will be in Comfort Suite. That seemed to be the one of the main highlights of 2024 Carnival. Because as you know, he did not perform in Trinidad for the 2024 Carnival season, only in the Calypso Monarch. So, you know, everybody is heading. So again, you don't have a ticket, don't worry. Head to the port. As somebody advised us, there are pirogues. That is not safe. I will not recommend it. But go to the port, see if you can get on, because there are additional sailings. I know there are additional flights this afternoon, but I would recommend you go to the port as a first option to see if you get on the ferry and get to Tobago. Right, the Port Authority has guaranteed me that all the staff and everybody is on high alert, and they are going to perform beyond expectations. So again, I want to thank the media and thank everybody for coming out.
So today we could be powdered. We're going to be powdered Saturday night.
I just want to say thanks to Deputy Chair for the enlightenment on the airlift and the inter-island. I just want to put some flesh to the meat in terms of crime. The law enforcement, as indicated, had definitely assured us that that security will be beefed up on the island. So we are asking all the criminal elements and all who want to misbehave, please don't come. All right? We definitely going to be. They will be on full, they will see the wrath of the law in Tobago. please don't come. We don't have no room for that. We are island of peace and tranquility and excitement across here. One thing I want to ask is Tital and the THA Tourism Division to do some data collection. I think it's important that we collect data on what's happening in the space. This being our third year of staging this event, we want to make sure that we get better and better. And the only way we could get better is if we collect data from the visitors, data from the international tourists, the domestic tourists. We want to get data. Data will help a lot in our post-mortem going forward. So we asked all these different associations, the tourism authority and the TITAL to collect data from the guests coming across, both at the sea and at the airport. That will help us going forward. We know that, yes, there may be mistakes. We do make mistakes. There are opportunities, of course. We're not reinventing the wheel. But what we're doing in Tobago is developing our own brand of carnival. It is not a Trinidad carnival. Please note that. It is not a Brazil carnival. It's not a Miami carnival. It's not a Nottingham carnival. It's a Tobago brand carnival. So let's develop our own brand and don't depend on any other brand. So if the brand had people on a truck whining, that's not Tobago brand. So you don't expect to see people up on a truck whining. You will see maybe folks up on a truck enjoying themselves, but probably not whining. All right, so we will develop our own brand, how we want to have it here in Tobago. And that's something going forward. We know the cruise ship season is coming up, and we know it's going to be a great season, so we're looking forward to that. So we ask all the present stakeholders, all the vendors, make sure you get your food badges, make sure your food is cooked safe, and everybody enjoy that substance meals that you may have to prepare. And the taxi drivers, be mindful of the new regs on the road, because some of the roads will be blocked off. So just be mindful of the regulations, so you can't pass on the highway at certain times. So just be mindful. It's all over social media. So you guys get that posting so that you could advise your guests, your visitors. I had some visitors in TPL, and they wanted to know where they can drive. I tell them, just park the vehicle and call for a shuttle. I think that may be the best thing for them to do, because I don't want them drinking and driving. We had 1 and 2 incidents building up to the carnival, so we want to make sure that our guests are safe. So don't drink and drive. If you have to drink water and get a designated driver, and I think that will help us going forward. I just want to say thanks for the media here. So we're going to open the floor for some questions. I know you may have some hard ones you want to throw at us, but Mr. Lord and Mr. Cookshank and Mr. Gray is more than capable of dealing with some of the hard ones. I will deal with the soft ones. So, so thanks again, folks. We now leave the floor open for questions.
I just want to comment on the car situation and the fact that a lot of these flights are coming on, it seems too late.
Definitely, and I know Mr. Cookshank have been in touch with Caribbean Airlines. It's something we want to work on, because this have been happening year after year. So we need to have a closer conversation with CAL executive and the sole proprietor of CAL, which is the Minister of Finance. And so we could have an understanding of all these events happening in Tobago, especially Tobago Carnival, and how best we could really sit around the table to make this thing work. Because we know next year we're going to have a brand new terminal building, and it's going to be more folks coming in the island now, but we have to manage it. And so we want to make sure that CAL really come on board and treat him with us, because the CAL story has been going on for a number of years, and I think it's now becoming a bit boring now. We had to fix it. All right, so we will look at it, and we will engage the stakeholders in terms of CAL and the management to have some sort of meeting with the chamber, so that we can sit and talk before the event and not after the event.
Following up on Candace's question, do you think this is a deliberate act by CAL?
No, I would not say it's a deliberate act. I think we need to sit down, because as I indicated, CAL is willing, but there are some restrictions that CAL have, and we ought to know those restrictions, whether it is political or otherwise. We want to know what are those restrictions and how best the Tobago Division, the Chamber, the Hotel Association can assist. Suppose it's just logistics. Suppose it's just information. We don't know. So we want to know. CAL, please tell us, what are some of the challenges you have, and let's meet with the necessary. So if you need more aircraft or more resources, as the case may be, let's know. But don't keep it to yourself, and then Tobago feels the brunt of not able to connect between Trinidad and Tobago.
How important is CAL to the success of Carnival in Tobago?
Well, the Port Authority is our success, not CAL. I look at the Port Authority doing a tremendous job. All right? If we to wait on Cal alone, we will be under some pressure. But the Port Authority is doing a tremendous job. I said, what's his name? The chairman, Lyle Alexander. I mean, amazing to see what the Port Authority is doing. Cal, yes, will take some of the international visitors across us, but there always seems to be a logistic issue with bringing our visitors across the island, especially at key events like this. And we had to solve it. So we at the Tobago Division and the Hotel Association, we're going to lead the trumpet. We're going to blow the trumpet in this game. We have to solve it. So come 2025, we don't want to hear Cal. We want to say Cal to give us a calendar or a list of all the flights, the extra flights before time, so that folks can book and give you a solid book. Because you know after the season, you know what's going to happen. Unused seats, we're going to get it. So please, Cal, don't set us up with the unused seats. Come, give us a schedule so that we can make the necessary booking. I had some guests came in yesterday, and they were able to get across seamless. Instead, they were on standby, and it took them a couple of hours, yes, but I know, as I said, Carl worked the magic somehow, as Mr. Cruikshank indicated, and they did come across. So, but that's not good enough. We need to predict. Remember, when folks coming into an island, they have to do the booking there. They can't be sitting waiting for 4 hours. We, the local, maybe do that. But the foreigners don't want to do that. They want a seamless transfer. So I know it's going to be a conversation. It's going to be an ongoing conversation. And we're looking forward to that.
What do you see the next 3 years of Tobago Carnival evolving? Because we already see that we have the dates lined up until 2027.
Well, what I want to see the Tobago Carnival turn into a kind of industry where we can promote our brand, and not just a spur, and let it be a year-round thing, so we could have that effect going throughout the year, because we're coming straight from the Tobago Carnival into November, straight into Christmas, and we want to keep the thing going, the momentum going throughout. So we want to look at all the designers, the mass bands, the costume folks. We want to look at the entertainment folks, the event coordinator, and then we don't overload one day with 5 and 10 events. We don't have the room for that. We don't have the logistics infrastructure for that as well. So we're looking forward at all the different stakeholders, the band leaders, the Calypsonians, the associations, and all them, that we could sit down and plan it out properly. So we have a nice flow of events going through the week leading up to the carnival, instead of one day being overloaded with all these events, and then the logistic is overramped, and we can't really make it going forward. Yeah. Anything else? Any other questions? Right. So I just want to say on behalf of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce and the Tobago Division. Oh, sure. Yes.
Yes, wanted to find out with the budget came out late for people saying this. I want to know how that affects your staging of the carnival.
As I indicated early on, and sometime this week through one of my media, that we want the carnival, the Tobago Carnival, to be a private sector-driven carnival. The THA will do their part in terms of marketing, but we're not going to rely on the THA. We rely on the THA too much here in Tobago, so we want the carnival to move away from the THA. Let private sector, corporate, be the one responsible to move this carnival. It's going to be a better product if we do it that way. The THA will come in with whatever they have to do with the fringes in the end, but we're not going to wait on that purse. We're not going to wait on that purse. Let this be a good business venture in Tobago. We will be the difference to the carnival, and not just waiting for the THA to do handouts and all these payouts. Let's do it in the private sector. So we're asking the planners and all the association, the band leaders, the FET promoters, let's sit and meet after so that we could decide on way forward. Let's meet corporate Trinidad and Tobago. Let's meet the business owners and players in the industry so that we could put together our ideas and plan going forward, and don't wait on the THA and funding.
Next 2 years to be able to now say we are taking up this carnival product and we're going to run with it. Is the business sector ready for that into the event?
Well, we started already. $2.5 million we give towards the business community, give towards the carnival, and I think that's a great start. $2.5 million is a wonderful start for Tobago, and I know next year the product that we're putting forward, when corporate Trinidad see the lovely product we have for Tobago, even our international guests and business owners, they said, well, hey, I could be part of that. So we have some international players is looking at us, and if they see that the product is unique and the product is good, they will make the investment. So we have to keep the product clean, we have to keep the product safe, we have to keep the product authentic. And we don't turn it into another Trinidad carnival. That's not what we want. We want a Tobago branded carnival. And we will get the investors. We work on that. So 2.5, we're going to carry that up to 5. And then we keep moving up until we tell the THA, keep your money. That's for you to do whatever. Do all the infrastructure, make sure the road good, make sure we have all the health people there and all of that. Do that part with your money. And we, the business, will facilitate the running of the carnival itself. It's a mixture right now, and we want to push. We want to get some branding in Tobago centric. So right now it's a mixture. So we want to make sure we stay Tobago centric, and we don't have that. So we asking the Tobago centric band leaders and all of them. I know they don't have. Some of them don't have the resources. Some don't have the capacity. You can speak to your fellow leaders in Trinidad, the other band leaders association. They are more than willing to partner with us and assist us in that process. Let us keep that in mind. Our brothers and sisters in Trinidad are more than willing to help the Tobago promoters and the Tobago Band Leaders Association to bring a product that is unique to Tobago. They open their arms to us. I know 2025 we're going to have some more players in this space, and that will be good for all of them. Definitely moving forward. Okay, thanks you, and see you.